Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gye, and I want to thank all of you for coming out to hear my little talk. Thank you for inviting me to your retreat to discuss leadership. So let's talk about it. I know sometimes when people come and talk about leadership, you can end up rolling your eyes and not another leadership talk, and I promise it's going to be worth it. Just bear with me. So let me tell you a quick war story. I know there's nothing people hate more than war stories, so I'll keep it brief. So there I was on an assignment. It was a great assignment, super excited to get it, big senior kind of position, doing my thing. You guys know how it is. And we were a high producing office. It was a high profile job. Our boss was great. He was the reason why we were as successful as we were. He led with empathy and humor and humility, great stuff. It was the end of his time, and so they were bringing in a new leader, and this new leader felt, you guys know the type, he felt like he should have been promoted years ago. He was a little disgruntled, what have you, but this was his opportunity. He was gonna grasp that brass ring, right? And so we knew this about him before he came out, but then he arrives and it becomes apparent to everyone immediately, this guy's not really here for us. He's here for himself. We knew that he was gonna use this position to bolster his profile, bolster his reputation, and finally get that big promotion to like senior vice president that he had been waiting on for so long. Now you ask yourselves, what kind of leader do you think he was? Was he even a leader? Because I still have a hard time calling him a leader. I refer to him as a manager and not even a good one at that. He used us up, he burned us out, constantly yelling, constantly disparaging, etc. Because he interpreted it as we're not making him look good, or he had to break us down in order to build us back up so that he could take credit for the successes, right? I'll never forget this one day, I'm sitting in my office and one of my colleagues comes in and closes the door and takes a seat in front of me, and I'm like, hey, Billy, we'll call him Billy. Hey, Billy, how's it going, bud? And this grown man just breaks out into sobbing tears. Admittedly, I was a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm a good leader. I empathize. Hey, man, you okay? What's going on? Well, the words out of his mouth really broke my heart because he said, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. The stress, the belittling, the constant disappointment. Nothing's ever good enough. I've taken all I can take, Guy. I can't take anymore. So while I'm talking to Billy, there's a knock at my door. Jimmy just opens the door and Jimmy walks in. I wasn't prepared for Jimmy because I'm still dealing with Billy. But Jimmy's like, I gotta talk to you. I gotta talk to you. And okay, I already got Billy here, but if you guys are good, we can do this together. Like, yeah. Look, I know he's here for the same reason I'm here for. We've got to do something. We can't take this anymore. He's killing us. And I said, all right, yeah, I know. He's a lot, man. Like, I know he's a lot to take. He said, no, Guy, he's killing us. He pulls his sleeves up. He had broken out into hives, physical hives, from the amount of stress that this manager was putting people through. So one person's manifesting it through emotion, another person's manifesting it physically. But what do they have in common? It's a failure of leadership. How do you get there? How does a person get to the point where they are put into a position that is called leadership and yet they don't know how to lead? Even worse, their actions have an adverse effect where they are actually causing hurt, harm, and damage to the people that have been entrusted to their care. How does that happen? I'll tell you how it happens. According to Gallup, right now, today, 77% of the workforce is either disengaged or actively disengaged. Now, this is a leadership retreat. That should really resonate. That should hit you. Sorry, that was my microphone. That should hit you over here, right? 77% are disengaged or actively disengaged because of our failure as leaders to take care of our people. So how does that happen? It's a lot of different things. First of all, if you come from a background like I do in the federal government, a lot of the people that we put in leadership positions get there because of their expertise, not because of their leadership ability. So we end up with somebody who's really good at building a widget, and we say, you know what? Go run a team full of people building widgets. But today, the workforce doesn't come to work looking forward to being able to build that better widget. That's not where their value is. That's not where their purpose is. Back in the day with Henry Ford and the assembly line, yeah, sure, build a better widget. Do that thing on the assembly line. You'll do it for 35 years, we'll give you a gold watch, a small pension, and you will be happy. That does not work in 2025. People have to be able to relate to what it is that they do. They have to see themselves in it. They have to see their purpose, their meaning, their inspiration in it. The other problem that we have, and the reason why I wanted to talk to you today, is so many of our leaders are educated on old, outdated, antiquated leadership models. Let's face it, the command and control style of leadership that we grew accustomed to in an old century, it just doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work anymore. Jack Welch was great, ran GE, did a great job, had that 20-80 rule, or 10% should always be fired every year. You fire your bottom 10%. That whole thing, drive. It doesn't work now. So what I want to offer you is a new way of thinking. I want to offer you a new leadership model to put into practice. I call it Strive, and it's built on 6 pillars. I'll just give you a really brief overview. Strive. The S is strategic vision. How are you going to lead if people don't know where in the heck you're going? Does your workforce really know your vision, or is it just stuck up on a wall somewhere as a slogan? Are you living into that vision? Can they see it? Can they see themselves in your vision? The T is trust and integrity. Can't have one without the other. That's our T. It is the anchor of this leadership model. Does your workforce trust you? Can they share their deepest and darkest with you, knowing that you're not going to go around the water cooler and share their business? When you tell them that you're going to help them in their career, do they believe you, or do they think it's just lip service because they really suspect that you're just out for yourself? Integrity, do you say what you mean? Do you mean what you say? Are you the same person today that you were yesterday? Will you be that same person tomorrow? The R is resilience. Can you think of another time where resilience was so important, especially in this post-COVID world? I live in the Washington, D.C. area. Right now, I am surrounded by people who don't even know if they have a job tomorrow. Imagine the stress that they must be under. You have to model resilience. You have to take care of yourself. You have to show them what it looks like to take care of yourself, to bounce back, to push through those harder times. The I is innovation. You can't get away from it. It's 2025. ChatGPT has taken over the world. AI has changed the way that we do business, and it has to affect your leadership. If you are not innovating, you are failing. We have to innovate. We can talk about it. The V is valor. You have to be able to demonstrate courage as a leader. You have to be bold. You have to be willing to speak truth to power and allow people to speak truth to you. Does your ego get in the way? If a person comes to you like I did, that boss I was talking about, and sit down in front of them and say, we have a problem and the problem is you. Do you have enough humility and courage to lean into that statement and say, tell me more? Or does your ego block out that conversation? Valor. And last and most important, the E, is empathy. Empathy. It is the single most important trait that you will find in successful leaders. Empathy. You are no better than the people that you are in charge of taking care of. You are no different. They need to be able to bring their whole self to work. I need to know that if I walk in the office and I roll my sleeves up and I got tattoos down my arm, you're not gonna judge me because you see me as a person. I got my earrings on right now. Are you judging me? I'm a big bald-headed black man. Are you judging me? If I tell you that I had a death in the family, are you gonna stop everything you're doing, sit down next to me and have a conversation? When I come into your office because I'm having a tough day and I just need to talk, are you gonna turn away from your computer and actually look at me? Now I could have made the E in Strive emotional intelligence because we all know how important that is. We've heard a lot about emotional intelligence, and it is definitely a part of empathy. Definitely it is, and we'll talk about that as well. That is the leadership model. Strive. 77% of today's workforce is disengaged or actively disengaged. We have to change, and we can't wait. Change is needed today. Change is needed right now. And you, the leaders here, you control where we go from here. So let's partner together. Let's study and learn this model And more importantly, understand this model is not a checklist. This model is not a 3-4 day workshop that you go to check off your training requirement for the year. Strive is something you live every day. If you're willing to lean in, if you're willing to change, then work with me and let's strive together. Thank you.